Imagine laying on the beach, kicked back with your shades on, refreshing beverage in one hand, the other resting gently on your beach towel. You don't know it yet, but that unused bottle of sunscreen in the bottom of your bag, it could be the death of you. I'm sure most of you have been a bit careless at a day at the beach and been punished the next day with a rosy red sunburn. As someone who loves to be outdoors, I have also encountered the dangers of UV rays. Skin cancer is the most common form of cancer, which affects different cells in your epidermis. With proper attention, it is a very avoidable disease. Skin cancer comes in different forms, which can be prevented with the right knowledge and treatment. There are three main types of skin cancers, all affecting the epidermis. These three skin cancers vary greatly. Basal cell, squamous cell, and melanoma are the three most common skin cancers. They're not to be confused. Natalie Tidy, from the academic journal Primary Healthcare, states that basal cell and squamous cell carcinoma account for 90% of all reported cases. Melanoma, although less common, is most harmful. With the prompt treatment, it can be cured. The epidermis consists of three different types of cells that can be affected by UV damage. These cells correspond to the cancers that they lend their names to. According to cancer.gov, these cells are basal cells, squamous cells, and melanocytes. What happens to cells when DNA is damaged is a mutation causing the cells to multiply out of control, which is when we see the lumps and bumps associated with skin cancer. Once you or a doctor notices a possible cancer, several steps can be taken to eradicate it. Treatment of skin cancer takes many forms, including surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy. Doctors will refer to their knowledge of size, shape, color, and texture to properly conclude the type of cancer that you have. If the cancer is non-melanoma or melanoma that has not yet spread, a surgery will most likely take place. An article on healthdirect.gov explains that the initial treatment usually is to cut out the skin lesion suspicious of being cancer. This may be a biopsy, a removal of a small sample for analysis, or a full excision, freezing, or scraping of the lesion. Non-melanoma skin cancer, if removed properly, will typically not need any further treatment. In the case of melanoma, radiation or chemotherapy will take place most of the time. Radiation therapy is done by a machine used to destroy cancer cells or slow the process of spreading. Chemotherapy is a process of taking drugs that kill the cancer, much like radiation. Chemotherapy sometimes targets healthy cells and can be administered orally, through your vein, or used topically as a cream. In order to avoid all these treatments, you can reach for a magical bottle of sunscreen to prevent skin cancer caused by UV rays. Protecting yourself from the sun is the ultimate way to prevent harmful UV rays from piercing your epidermis and causing major harm. The sun damages skin in unfathomable ways. Atul Taneja from the Indian Journal of Dermatology, Venereology, and Leprology informs us that chronic effects of ultraviolet radiation include freckles, telangiectasis, wrinkling, and precancerous lesions such as actinic keratoses and photocarcinogenesis. He also points out that these effects are more common on lighter skinned individuals, where darker skin has more melanin, which is helpful in absorbing UV rays. It is actually quite uncommon for a dark-skinned individual to get freckles, sunburn, or sun-damaged wrinkles. That being said, a lack of vitamin D, which is absorbed from sunlight, can lead to other cancers or jaundice. Depending on your skin type, sunscreen may be a vital addition to your travel bag. According to Natalie Tidy of Primary Healthcare, it is determined by doctors that an SPF 15 or higher is to be used. Even more emphasized is that you stay out of the sun entirely. There is no substitute for shade to properly protect your skin from UV rays. It is also suggested that you never let your skin get too burned because it puts you at a much higher risk for skin damage. I would like to leave you with a few important details. With the commonness of skin cancer, it is important to be conscious of how to prevent and treat it. If you are in fact conscious, you will be able to avoid the damage caused by ultraviolet radiation. Above all else, remember that all different skin types are affected differently by the sun. Realizing and understanding your skin type is crucial. Common sense is your best friend.